Your reality is as you perceive it to be, so it is true that by altering your perception we can alter our reality. The definition of perception, according to Merriam-Webster, is the act or faculty of perceiving, or apprehending by means of the senses or of the mind. Take a minute to scan your surroundings. You are familiar in the place you're in. Pick out an object, maybe something you hadn't noticed before, and focus your attention on it. If you really focus, it'll get brighter and more real than it was before. Now try to view your surroundings from the point of the object. Some people can do this with no effort, and for others it takes some concentration. Depending on how adept you are at focusing your concentration, you may notice a slight shift in your perception, a weird jump into reality, where you are suddenly viewing the world from a different perspective. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to do a perception jar. A perception jar is whatever you make it out to be. But for my example today, here are the tools that you will need. Obviously, the first step is to find a jar. Today I'm just using an old spaghetti sauce jar that I found. Next, you'll need to find some rocks. You can go out and buy them. They're usually stored in the decoration aisle, or you can go into your neighbor's yard and steal them like I did. Also, you will need to find some soil to use at the base of your jar. Another thing you could use is a fern. You can find these at any garden section at Walmart. The last item is moss. You can find moss at any garden section. Your first step is to insert the bigger rocks into the base of the jar. The second step is to empty your soil into the jar and mix your big rocks around with the soil. Step 3 is to disassemble the moss into itty bitty strands and spread it throughout the jar. Next, you want to tilt your jar sideways so you can insert the fern in and it has a solid base to stand up on its own. I'm going to put a snow trooper in the jar, which doesn't really make sense because he's a snow trooper and this is a tropical forest theme, but I'm going to do it anyways. This is the final outcome of my perception jar. You really can make these however you want to, you just really have to get creative with it. Here's another example of a jar I made but didn't have the time to record. Just know that you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Thanks for watching my tutorial on how to do a perception jar.